I think there's something that all Canadians should be proud of. We pissed off the United States of America. And I know that kind of sounds funny to be proud of that, but they're pissed off because Canada's trying to buy Canadian. We're trying to make our own partnerships. And I know some people are probably thinking, wait, isn't that what we should be doing? Like, we should be using our own taxpayer money to support our own workers and our own businesses and creating new partnerships with other countries. I mean, yeah, that's kind of the point of this video, what I'm going to talk about. Because for years, we've been hearing from the Americans, always America first, buy American, protect American workers, protect American jobs. And no, this didn't just start with Taco Tuesday. It's always been like this. It might have been a little bit more subtle in the past. But now that Canada is saying that maybe we should spend our Canadian tax dollars, support Canadian companies, and make our own partnerships, suddenly Washington has a problem. And they suddenly think it's unfair. And suddenly we're a trade irritant. And suddenly Canada deciding to finally put itself first is something that the United States is not happy about. I mean, let me share the latest headline when it comes to the Gordie Howe Bridge. This article is from Bloomberg and it's titled, Nutlig Delays Canada Bridge Debut to Seek Bigger Cut of Toll Revenue. So let me get this straight, Nutlig. You basically want a bigger cut of the toll when Canada funded the entire project, and we use US materials and workers, and we're giving you half of the bridge once our share is paid off. So I guess what you're saying is that's not enough for you and the US government. You want profit now on something that you didn't pay for. I don't know, to me that kind of sounds like extortion maybe? Now, I'm not the only one to say this. In the Bloomberg video, in the comments, there's like hundreds of them, with people on both sides of the border saying that this is not right. I mean, imagine setting up a lemonade stand with your next door neighbor, and you're setting it up for the neighborhood. And your next door neighbor basically says, no, I'm not going to help you with it. You go ahead and build it yourself. So you build it yourself. You get all the materials, you get all the lemons, the jars, and everything else. Then you tell your next door neighbor that once you're paid back and once you make your money back, you'll give him 50%. And you're even going to use his kids and give him a job. Then when it's ready to open, this gangster here comes by and says, no, I want a big cut. Even though I didn't do jack shit, I still want money now. I'm not going to wait for you to get your money back. Like, what kind of gangster shit is this? I know the lemonade stand might not be the best analogy, but I mean, it kind of makes sense. And it just shows how ridiculous this is. Now, in the Bloomberg report, it did say that the city of Windsor and the federal government, they're not going to back down. And they said that if it needs to stay closed for a little bit longer, they're going to leave it closed. And I think that's the right call. But this whole Gordie Howe Bridge situation, it's a good reflection of how our relationship with the United States is right now. They don't want anybody else to win. There is no 50-50. There is no partnership. It's they win and we lose. America first and only America. And whenever anyone tries to step back and say no, they call it a trade irritant.
This report today is highlighting that this is really impacting American businesses, and they're saying that it's an unfair trade practice, and they want this policy removed completely. Now, it is important to note it highlights that there are just two provinces, Alberta and Saskatchewan, which don't have this ban on American products. And so, again, they're saying that this is unacceptable. It's a trade irritant. And this report is saying that they want this removed immediately, and they want all American booze back on the shelves ASAP, Marcia.
So let me get this straight. The United States say they can have America first. They can have buy American first. They can use tariffs. They can pressure allies. They can threaten all of our countries. But when Canada finally says no, we stand up for ourselves. That's when it becomes a problem. We become a trade irritant. We become nasty. And according to Taco Tuesday, he said something like we're very hard to deal with. I'm pointing this out to show the hypocrisy of the United States. They're allowed to buy America first. But when we have buy Canadian, we're being nasty. But I actually do want to go a little bit deeper on the buy Canadian thing. I mean, for far too long, we've actually been like way too integrated with the United States. We buy their products, we go to their tourist destinations, and we support their economy, which is fine if the friend is a friend. But the United States is no longer a friend anymore. And our Canadian government and our citizens now realize this. And it's not a crazy or nasty idea to support our own country. I mean, hell, the United States says that about them. So why can't we say that about Canada? Personally, I want more money going to Canadian suppliers, Canadian materials, jobs, steel, aluminum, wood. I want to support more stuff from home. And I also want to support our allies as well around the world. I don't think that's a problem for many Canadians. It's a problem for the United States, though. I mean, why should Canadian tax dollars automatically go to American opportunities? For decades, Canada has been way too integrated into the United States. And sometimes I feel like we forgot what it feels like to think for ourselves. Just like the China EV story I mentioned it a couple days ago. Not really about the EVs. It's about Canada making its own decision. What's best for Canada. And not automatically doing what the United States wants. And this buy Canadian thing is the same thing. It's not really about the contracts or the deals with the United States. It's about Canada saying that we need to protect ourselves. We need to build our own supply chains. We need to build our own workers. And we need to stop pretending that the United States will have our back. Because quite frankly, they don't. And they've already proven that. Both Republicans and Democrats. Now this is from the U.S. Trade Representative report. And they're basically saying that Canada's buy Canadian policy is one of their trade concerns. And when I saw this, I kind of laughed. Because of course they did. Of course Washington will put this in a report. Because we're mean and nasty and we're not doing what they want. But when you see headlines like this that say Canada-US trade systems don't fit together very well, Greer says, always remember that Greer is saying this because we're not doing what he wants. Now we have to remember that this isn't just coming from the US government. It's coming from the business level as well as the citizen level as well. I'll go into the citizen level later, but I want to talk about the business side. And we got this douchebag right here, Chris Swanger, who called us boneheaded for taking the US liquor off our shelves. And for months after, he kept continuing to gaslight us, saying that his liquor industry is more distinct than others and is valued more than others. And then he continued to gaslight us, saying that we're hurting the workers in the bourbon industry or the liquor industry. Like, I give a shit. Because your industry is full of people who actually voted for Taco Tuesday. Just like the farmers, you got what you voted for. But for Chris Swanger, just like his government, he felt like Canadians had no other choice but to buy only US booze, and that we could only buy from them. I mean, I guess you can call it US exceptionalism because they think that no other booze in the world can match up to theirs. But here's a question for everyone. I mean, does anybody actually miss the US booze right now? I mean, I'm not a big drinker. I mean, if I drink whiskey, it'll be like Johnny Walker or Lagavulin. And to be honest, I haven't drank like Jim Beam or Jack Daniels since like high school. So I don't miss it at all. So a question for everyone watching this right now. Do you miss the US alcohol? Whether it's spirits or wines? Let us know in the comments below. But this is just another case of the United States being angry at Canada for us not doing what they want. But this also applies to the tourism industry as well. I mean, the United States tourism industry, as well as the border towns, they were just so used to us like complying. The tourism industry, as well as like some government officials, they may not be as blunt as the US administration, but you know they're thinking the same thing. And what bothered me over the last like 16 months is that, just like the liquor industry, they believe that Canadians had nowhere else to go. I mean, just listen to this arrogant statement here.
Groups like First Nature Tours are urging Canadians to embrace our natural resources and not be afraid to admit they like Oregon.
Yeah, not be afraid to admit that we like Oregon. I don't know, something really bothers me about that. Maybe it's the US exceptionalism, the arrogance, United States is the center of the world. But we're not stupid. I mean, we know there's plenty of places to go to in Canada and the rest of the world that would actually respect us. But do the United States citizens respect us? I mean, some of them do. I think a very small portion, but that's just my opinion. But guys like this, they don't.
Our Canadian friends are from Saskatchewan or Saskatchewan or something. I can't even pronounce these things. All I know is it's so cold there, I will never visit except for maybe that weekend that they call summer, like in July.
I mean, talk about an ignorant thing to say. I mean, the weather looks fine in Saskatoon, if you ask me. But this is in Celsius, so I'm pretty sure he won't understand it. But here's my question. Why is America First allowed, but Canada First is treated like a problem? And I think we know the answer. I mean, it's all these guys right here, and more. Because the old relationship worked really well for these guys. Canada stayed close. Canada stayed reliable. Canada stayed predictable. We bought American. Canada followed American policy. Canada lined up with Washington. And now they want more. To the point where they actually want our country, like, to take it over. But whenever Canada tries to move differently and do something in a different direction, someone would come out and say, oh, that's bad for the relationship. Well, maybe that relationship was already damaged. Or maybe Canadians realized this wasn't even a relationship at all. It was always a one-way thing. Like this Canadian here, speaking right now, said, wait a second, this country does not respect us the way we thought it did. And now when Canada starts doing small things like buy Canadian, Washington gets irritated. Because it means Canada is no longer playing the same role. We're not basically like, their sidekick anymore. Instead, I want to see Canada build more at home. I want to see Canada trade more with other countries. I want to see Canada support Canadian companies. And I also want to see Canada invest in our own industries. Canadians are not reacting the same way anymore. At least I'm not. A few years ago, a lot of us would have said, oh, we don't want to upset the United States, but we have to be careful. Or what will happen to trade? But now, a lot more Canadians are saying, good, buy Canadian, support Canadian, build Canadian, and F the United States. And some comments I've seen from Canadians when it comes to the United States, I can't repeat them. I mean, I'll probably get flagged for like vulgarity. But Canadians, I think we've seen too much. We've seen the tariffs, we've seen the threats, the 51st state comments. We've seen the way that some US citizens talk about us. Like, we're just supposed to be grateful of being allowed to exist next to them and being their next door neighbor. Well, now when Canada says we're going to support ourselves and they don't like it, it's too bad. So for me, the buy Canadian complaint, them not liking us buying China EVs, it's actually a good sign because it means something's changing. It means that Canada's finally starting to act like the new Canada, not the old Canada. Not the Canada that just followed along. Not the Canada that bent over backwards to keep American businesses happy. But a Canada that says that we will still trade, we will still work with partners that respect us, and we'll still be reasonable. We're always reasonable. And we're not going to be the sidekick to Washington anymore. We still have over 2 years left of this shit. I mean, I say shit, I mean, the orange whoopee cushion. And there's going to be more incidents of them gaslighting us, saying that we're not being fair, nasty, a trade irritant, and not cooperative. But just remember, every time we hear a new incident happen, and they are going to happen, it just means that the United States is not happy that Canada is putting itself first. To close off this video, I would like to thank Lorelei again for sending this photo from Prince's Island Park in Calgary, Alberta. Lorelei mentioned to me that there wasn't very many photos of Calgary on the Guard the Leaf map, so she helped to send this one over to me. And if you're unaware of what the Guard the Leaf map is, one of our viewers named Belgian and Curious has plotted every single backdrop that I've used in my videos on a Google map. So a big shout out to both Lorelei and Belgian and Curious for helping to contribute to this map. Alright everyone, that's it for this video. If you found any value in anything I said today, or you want to hear more from a Canadian and international point of view without the US media bias, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button below. That way you'll be notified of my future videos. And don't forget to hit the bell icon and select all as well. Now, if you want to see more of my videos, check out the ones that are going to show up on your screen shortly. Thanks everyone, I'll catch you in the next one.